Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start the chapter number 7, Object Oriented Design. So these are the contents from chapter number 7. First, we will see the introductory part regarding object oriented design. Then we will see the Booch method, then the Cod and Jordan method, and Jacobson method and Rumbach method. Then the generic components of the object oriented design model. Then we will see about the system design process, that is partitioning the analysis model, concurrency and subsystem allocation, task management, task management component, then the data management component, and the resource management component. And also we will see inter-subsystem communication, object design process. So these are the contents from the chapter number 7. So we'll start with the introductory part about object oriented design. Here the object oriented design, that is OOD, object oriented design, serves as a part of object oriented programming. Object oriented design is the part of object oriented programming, that is the process of object oriented programming process of lifestyle. When the object oriented programming comes into picture, most of the methodologies can work on the analysis and design methods, and processes would fit into an object oriented world. So it is mainly the process of using object methodology to design a computing system or application. So this technique enables the implementation of a software based on the concept of objects. Here we are going to use the objects. So this technique enables the implementation of a software based on the objects. So additionally, it is a concept of, or it is a concept that forces programmers to plan out their code in order to have a better flowing program based on the concept of objects. Then the origin of object oriented design is debated, but the first languages that are supported, it included Simula and Smalltalk. Then the term did not become popular until that Grady Booch wrote the first paper titled Object Oriented Design in 1982. So the period of 1980 to 1995 is very important for the development of that methodologist for the analysis and design of the object oriented concepts. So these methods are so much popular among the people, like since they use the different kinds of techniques to analyze and design the object oriented concepts. There are so many methods developed in the period of 1980 to 1995. Several authors are there with their methodologies. Okay, then the characteristics of object oriented design. So objects are abstraction of real world or these system entities, and they manage themselves. Objects are real time entities or real world entities. So the objects are independent and in an encapsulated state. Objects are independent and they are in encapsulated state and represent the information. So that objects communicate between each other through the message passing. Then that objects may be distributed and may execute sequentially or in parallel manner. So these are the characteristics of object oriented design. So now we will see first method of object oriented design, that is the Booch method. So here the Booch method is a software engineering technique. It is a software engineering technique. It is an object modeling methodology that was widely used in object oriented analysis and design. So it is a method for object oriented software development as well. It was developed by Grady Booch at Rational Software when he was working with Rational Software, that is acquired by IBM, published in 1992 and revised in 1994. So it was widely used in software engineering for object oriented analysis and design, and benefited from ample documentation and supported tools. So in order to allow detailed description of classes, Booch suggests various templates. The methodology is not only covers conceptual designs, that is logical view, but also includes the techniques which are clearly associated with implementation issues, like that is module architecture or process architecture. So that Booch method has a large set of symbols. Most of the symbols are not much useful at the analysis phase, but they are able to document that object-oriented code. There are a lot of symbols for that Booch method. So the notation aspect of that Booch method was su- suppressed by the Unified Modeling Language, that is UML. So which features graphical elements from the Booch method along with elements from the object modeling technique, that is OMT and object oriented software engineering. So these methodological aspects of that Booch method have been incorporated into several methodologies and processes. The primary methodologies being the RUP, that is Rational Unified Process. So here you can see that Booch uses many diagrams in the object-oriented design at two different levels. First level is design level and second one is implementation level. Sorry, implementation level. Here you can see the table for these two levels of diagrams used by the Booch, Grady Booch here. See the diagram type and the level defined here. There are two levels. First one is design level and implementation level. At design level, it includes the diagram class diagram, object diagram, state transition diagram, then interaction diagram. And at implementation level, it includes module diagram and process diagram. So these are the diagrams that are defined at design level and implementation level. So Booch uses these diagrams at this design level and implementation level. So now we will see the representation or the notation for these diagrams here. Here you can see the notation for class diagram. Okay, see the class name and how we can define the class name here, class name and the attributes operations. So here class with its data fields, that is the attributes, that is properties, and the operations means methods. This is the notation for a class diagram. In this way we can denote the class diagram. And here you can see for the object diagram, see the notation for object diagram. So difference between this class diagram notation and object diagram notation is, see the dotted, sorry, dash representation for this class diagram, and this is the plain representation for this object diagram here. Object diagram consisting of that attributes here. And see the notation, another notation is association. Association, that is communication or the link between the objects. Then the another notation is for inheritance. See the arrow, field arrow, that is we can use this for inheritance, that is a relation that is mostly used for specialization. And next notation is, see the field circle with two association, that is it has, and this empty circle with this two association bar is for using. Okay, so these are the shapes used in the class diagram, okay, in Booch method. So we'll see the example for class diagram here. This is object modeling using the Booch here. See, this is the super class here, washing powder. See the representation of class here. See, and inherit. See the notation for inheritance here. The arrow with the fill arrow here. So washing powder inherits again serp excel. Okay, here you can see another class is there. Again, it inherits two subclasses like front load and top load. So this is a simple example of class diagram here. This is the object modeling using Booch. See the notation for this. Then the Booch methodology provides micro and macro development. Micro and macro development process for the software production. First, we will see the micro development process. So the micro development process, or there is a micro development associated with every macro development. This micro development phase is associated with every macro development phase. It deals with the day-to-day activities of the software developers. Macro development process deals with the day-to-day activities of software developer. Here, the micro process represents the daily activities of the individual developer. Daily activities or day-to-day life activities of the individual developer or of a small team of developers. Micro development means daily activities of that developer or the team. Here, the analysis and the design phase are intentionally blurred. Okay, so here there are some steps in micro development phase. So first step is identify the classes and objects at a given level of abstraction. Then second step is identify the semantics of these classes and objects. First we have to identify the classes and objects, then we have to identify the semantics of these classes and objects. Then third step is we have to identify the relationship among these classes and objects. Then fourth step is we have to identify the interfaces and implementation. Interface, and then we have to identify the implementation of these classes and objects. So these are the four steps in micro development phase. All are interrelated to each other. So these are the Booch micro development process. These four steps are Booch micro development process. Then next one is macro development process. So here each macro development process has its own micro development process. First we have seen that micro development process. In that, this micro development process is associated with every macro development phase. And in macro development process, each macro development process has its own micro development process. So this mainly deals with the project management aspect and act as a controlling framework for the day-to-day micro processes. So it is generally being executed in a span of that a few weeks or the months. So this process focuses on two manageable elements. What are they? Risk and architectural vision. So the macro process identifies some activities cycle here, or these some steps are there. First step is conceptualization, second one is analysis, then design, evolution, and the last step is maintenance here. So first step is conceptualization. That means establish core requirements. Here the requirements of the systems are identified, goals are set, and the prototypes are developed in the first step of conceptualization. And the second step is analysis. In this we have to develop a model of the desired behavior of that development process here. We have to develop a model of the desired behavior. So that means the description of the problem is given in the analysis phase. Then this description is grasped by means of scenarios where each scenario indicates a specific functional aspect. So the roles and responsibilities of objects are identified in the class diagram and the behavior is depicted in the object diagram or in the interaction diagrams in terms of scenarios in the analysis phase. And next one is step 3, that is design step. In this we have to create an architecture. So during this design phase, architecture is created to develop the implementation and common strategic policies are set out. So which are used by different elements in the system. And fourth step is evolution. Here evolution, or we can say the implementation step. So after refining the design that we have created, we have to develop a software implementation. Then that evolution or implementation phase is characterized by growth and changes in the implementation by means of successive fine tuning, and the system is taken into the production. So in this we have to refine the design and we have to develop the software implementation. And the step number 5, that is maintenance. Maintenance means we have to add new requirements or update the existing requirements. So that will make the changes into the software and thus it will make that software bug free. So this maintenance phase is characterized by the management of the system's evolution after its delivery. After the delivery of the system, we have to maintain the system. So which considered to be the continuation of the previous phase. That means this is the continuation of the evolution phase. So this is all about Booch macro development process. Okay. So we have seen the introductory part regarding object oriented design, then characteristics of object oriented design, and we have seen the Booch method and the notations for Booch method and the levels of two levels of Booch method. We have seen the example for object modeling using Booch. Then we have seen that Booch methodologies of micro development process and macro development process. So that's it for today's session. We will stop here. Thank you.